good to see you. Our new unit of Love Does is all about getting dressed. We've talked about this a little bit in the past before with the armor of God. God uses this illustration of what to wear to help us understand how to live every day, starting with getting dressed. When he talks about the armor of God in Ephesians 6:10 through 18, we are told to put on the full armor of God, the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the breastplate of righteousness in place, the boots of peace on your feet, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And God says, don't forget to pray. Those are awesome illustrations, especially in a time when people knew what soldiers were wearing. But for some of us today, we don't see soldiers, and even if we do, they don't wear this type of armor anymore. So for us who maybe don't totally get this illustration, God gives us other examples of what clothes to wear. In Colossians 3:12 through 14, he tells us how to get dressed. He says, clothe yourselves with compassion and also put on kindness and humility. He says to put on gentleness and patience. Ooh, this one I got to be patient with. Woo! Oh, patience. God also says to bear with one another and forgive each other, just as God has forgiven you. And over all of these virtues, all of these pieces of clothing, God tells us to put on love, because love binds it all together in perfect unity. Oh my goodness, I am definitely all bound up and cozy and warm, but would I really put on all of these layers of clothes and go outside of my house today? No, but God's example is not really talking about clothes. God is talking about our hearts. God calls us to love him first so that we can love others. And loving others is our second job. But if we don't love God first, how can we love others? Without God, our actions of love lose steam, and it can't really carry us through to love when it is really hard to understand and love someone else who has hurt us. But when we seek God first and love him, he gives us the clothes for our heart. He gives us the compassion we need to help someone who has fallen right in front of us. He gives us the kindness, the humility to help, the gentleness, the patience, the forgiveness to forgive, just like God forgave us, and the love. Everything starts and ends with love. That's what love is, and that's what love does. And that's why we are called to get dressed with love and compassion and all these other virtues in our heart. But it first comes from loving God. Then we are able to love others.